Okay, good morning. Okay, I tried to make it so you guys could see what I'm doing. I'm hoping this works. I was asked how I clean these jars, and I need to get them clean, so it works out pretty good. Now, some of them I don't need to do too much work on them, like say something like this. It's actually fairly clean. All I do is I inspect the jar, and I can honestly already see that this jar is garbage. Allow me to bring closer. Okay, there we go. So you can see right there. See that's broken? Yeah, so this jar is fit for the recycling. That's the number one thing you want to look for, is damage. Okay. Now let me go back to where I was. Ow, piece of metal. Not even sure what that's from. Okay. Okay, so number one, broken, go in the recycling. Okay, I have a jar number two. This one isn't too bad looking. I see there's some old gasket stuck on it, but the rim itself looks fine. Now I'm gonna check the jar. I don't see any hairline cracks. And I have a bowl here beside me to dump any of the uck into. Okay, so that one passes my visual inspection. And then I also have my sink full of nice hot water with soap in it. And I have both my pressure canners on the stove. They're not turned on yet, but they will be, because after I'm done washing them and then inspecting them again, they will go into the water bath, into my pressure canners, just use them as a water bath canner to sterilize them after I've washed them. And then I'll put them away to store for later use. And this is just so in this way I know that they are clean down in my basement already. I've got my clean and I've got my dirty. Now see, this one has some air pockets in it, like little air holes, but that's fine. It's just older jars. They weren't perfectly done. Okay, so that one's fine. Okay, now, yeah, this one's actually pretty neat. This, hang on, let me bring this closer to you. I didn't even know they made these. This, I don't know if it will show you or not. This is a Presto spaghetti jar. I'm assuming this looks like it's a liter jar. Manufactured by Illinois Glass Company. I think that says Illinois. Presto Supreme Mason. How cool is that? But there's a lid on it. And it's sealed. Do yourself a favor. Hold it away from your face when you open it. Throw this stuff in the recycling if there's no food in it. Like, see, this jar was empty, so I'm not overly concerned. I know there's not going to be botulism in it. None of these jars contain food. Now, someone was asking, how can you tell if there's botulism in one of these jars? Now, none of these contain food, so I don't got to worry about it. Now, let's just say this jar contained food. And if the lid looked like this, it's, you know, fairly normal looking. I would say, yep, that's fine, I can just dump it. Or if it was, you know, pushed in, like we know it's sealed, again, fine. I would still just crack it open, dump it, and wash the jar. But if it looks like it's going to explode, if that lid is bubbled, like it is bubbled, it looks like it's going to explode, do not open it. Do not. Because there's probably something in it. Now here, I made many calls to find out how to dispose of it. I ended up by getting so annoyed with people not understanding my question as to how do I dispose of a jar that contains botulism, that I ended up by just calling my garbage company and talking to them and asking them how they would like me to dispose of it, and that was how I figured out how to dispose of it. So you just need to make calls around if you find a jar like that as to how to dispose of it. Every place is going to be different. So I can't tell you. Here where I live, they asked me to wrap it in a bag, very carefully, wrap it in a second bag, and then very carefully place it into my garbage. And once it's into their compactor, it explodes, and nobody is going to be near it when it explodes, and it will be aired out by the time it gets to a facility. That's how they explained it to me. So that's how I had to dispose of mine. Now again, I'm checking this jar. I don't know if I'll use this for canning. It's sturdy. Like that's a sturdy jar. But I don't see any chips. I don't see any cracks. I see an imperfection from when it was made. See, and you gotta check everything. You gotta check the sides. You gotta check the base of them. Okay. Am I gonna make you guys sit here and watch this every time? No. So let's go into a really dirty jar. This one here is real gnarly. Okay, so first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna carefully dump that away from me. Yes, I know I should have a mask on or something, but meh. Okay, I'm gonna inspect it. I don't see any damage, and at this point I'm not gonna run my fingers around it because I could cut myself, and I'm not seeing anything. So first things first is you want to visually inspect it, then you want to wash it. Okay, so I'm going to keep going through all these, and I'll bring you guys back at the next step. Okay, now my next step that I like to do is soak them in nice hot soaky water. Just that way it makes it a little bit easier to get them clean. So we're just going to let these soak for a little while and then give them a good scrub down. And I'm pretty sure that's pretty straightforward, scrubbing it. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to boil these for about 15 minutes or so. I have them completely submerged under the water, and we're just going to sterilize these, and then they'll be nice and clean. And so that one's full and ready to go. I'm just getting that one going now. Okay, now you have a nice new fresh battery. So these have now boiled for actually over an hour because I forgot about them. To be perfectly honest, I did. I went downstairs to start moving boxes and stuff around, and I forgot about what I was doing. That just means they'll be good and clean, and I know they will handle being water backhand. Now these ones here behind me are clean. I'm just going to very carefully, I really do not recommend doing this, put in there sideways. Okay, now I'm just going to keep doing that until the camera's full. If you do it right, you won't burn yourself. That's the key, is doing it right. Hold it in there sideways until it's just about full, and then you can turn it so it's sitting in there upright. I really don't recommend doing this. If you're nervous around stuff like this, then don't do it. It's just I'm here and the camera's over there. Okay. Now I think I still have some quart jars in there that I need to finish washing. But yes, okay, so I'm just going to, let me show you here. Swing you over here. Okay, so I'm just going to leave them sitting like this until they're dry, which they probably, yeah, they're pretty much dry now. And they're just going to get put away down the basement with all my other jars. And I'll forget that these are old-fashioned jars that were found underneath of somebody's house because I just don't think about it. So there you go. That's how I clean my jars that come to me nasty and disgusting. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Any questions? Leave them down below. And I will talk to you again soon. Bye.